Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Boss Rush Gamescast, a podcast where we talk about why the smell of body wash seems to disappear within the first month of getting a new one.
Are you talking about like showering once a month and then wondering why your body wash still doesn't smell the same?
No, it's like when I shower.
That's what it sounded like. Like it sounded like, how is it like every time I shower once a month, that smell doesn't stay longer than once a month? That's what my brain heard. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Yeah, no. I do shower more than once a month.
Good for you. Good for you.
Yep. Smell is very important, and
So you're talking in the bottle.
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. It's like when you take a shower.
Yeah.
And you put on the body wash, and you come out. You smell that smell everywhere. But then, like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks of constantly doing that, it's like I'm not getting that same feel anymore. Like, are we just normalized to it, or
I
does
imagine,
it wear out?
I imagine you desensitize to the smell because you know how you smell other people's farts more so than you smell your own farts. You're smelling more unfamiliar things. I think. Then I don't know. I'm not a scientist, dude.
Yeah, no, I just find it curious, like because then I'm like sniffing myself. I'm like, well, no, I mean it's there, but like it just doesn't permeate to the rest of the apartment the same way anymore, or maybe it does, and I just am so familiarized with it that it just doesn't feel like fresh until I get something that's a new smell or something.
Yeah, that old lady down the hall stopped complimenting your smell recently.
Yeah, I know.
Damn it.
It's like that was the highlight of my day too.
70-year-old Gertrude walking down the hallway. Oh, Pat, you smell so nice today.
You smell like my husband did back in the day.
Like, oh, that's gross. Old Spice. That's all they had back then. It's all those guys had.
Yep. And you know what? It's still the best stuff in this current day.
Hey, it's what works. It's what got your grandparents laid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not having as much success there, but
that does bring me to another point. Why the smell of wood is a common scent for dudes out there, like sandalwood or fresh pine wood or something like that. Whatever, like. I know, like, dudes are supposed to be outdoorsy and, like, I like to work with my hands and cut, wood with my axe and stuff. And, like, okay, but do you have to smell like sandalwood, like, with your soap? Like, no, you don't have to. What's wrong with the dude smelling like lavender? You know what I mean?
I do like the good smell of lavender.
Yeah.
And I don't find too many body washes that have that smell or any. I do find deodorant that has that lavender smell, though.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with the dude smelling like lavender. Yeah. Nothing wrong with the dude smelling like flowers.
I love flowery soap, dude. Okay? I have rose blossom soap right now in my bathroom that I occasionally switch out with a lavender shea.
Cool. No judgment from me. Like I said, bro, you smell like flowers like any day of the week you want, okay? Don't let anybody judge you.
Damn straight. I like smelling good.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, when we're not talking about smelling good, we are talking about video games. Here, we have the deeper conversations into the games that matter. I am one of your hosts, Patrick Klein. Unfortunately, Taylor's not with us, but we do have our third in command, Mr. Retro Stoy.
How you doing? Third in command now.
I'm gonna move
my way up to the top. You watch. You're
gonna take over the Boss Rush Gamescast.
I'm coming for you. I'm just coming for you. I'm coming for Corey's position too. You watch.
Oh man.
You tell
You're
Corey.
Not going for Boss Rush Gamescast. You're going for Boss Rush Network.
I'm going for Boss Rush. I will be a Boss Rush one day. No way. I don't want Corey's job. Get out of here.
I don't want Corey's job either. My gosh.
Corey doesn't want Corey's job.
He edits like a million things, worries about the website, marketing. He's basically the whole damn package.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Cheers to Corey.
Cheers to Corey. So, anyways, this is the last episode of the year. That's kind of exciting considering we only have like 8 more days left.
I have 2 New Year's resolutions. Do you have any?
Not really.
No? Okay. All right.
Not yet, anyways. But I'm
Okay.
curious to hear about yours.
For the entire month of January, I'm going to play all retro games.
Wow.
I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna try really hard. So everything from Gen 7 down. So 360, PS3.
Okay.
All I'm gonna do is play retro games, so to speak.
Do
With
remasters count?
no,
No.
no,
Okay.
no. If there is I'm going to play the original copy. I don't have a list of games that I want. Obviously, as you know, I have shelves full of games. So there's literally going to be no shortage of games that I could play. So it's just basically going to be like I'm just going to walk up to the shelves and be like, what do I feel like playing today? You know, so or like I'll think about a game at work and I'll just be like, you know what, that's what I'm gonna play tonight. So
I get those impulses too.
yeah,
Yeah.
because I don't I feel like games shouldn't be work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You should you should be like looking forward to like, yeah, I can't wait to go sit down and play this game. You know,
That is true.
so I'm anticipating. I don't know. We're gonna see how the month ends. I hope I can last. Like I said, I think there's a big, huge backlog of games that I maybe haven't played in a long time or whatever. So, but
Mm-hmm.
speaking of that, my second New Year's resolution is to actually get some of these backlog games that I tried to beat this year that I haven't. Because before we were recording, we were talking about our lists of the games that we played this year.
Yep.
And I would say there's a good portion of games that I've played this year that I have not beaten. So I want to make that a priority next year.
I have, out of the 142 games I have played, I have not beaten 80 of them.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like a damn lot. And
Yeah, I
probably,
think I'm
yeah.
at 40 right now. I'm at 40 some games that I haven't beaten yet. And some of
Oh,
them,
you know what? No,
I don't think they're long.
correction. 89, 79, 79. There's something on this list I forgot to mark off.
Oh dear. Oh.
Yes.
No.
Woohoo!
So yeah, there's the funny thing is that a lot of these games that I've played are not even long. Like some of these games are pretty short that it's like if I just pick it up and finish it, it's gonna just take a few hours. With the exception of maybe some of these games, like I think Star Wars Outlaws. I'm gonna try to beat it, but
That's
Suikoden
going to
1
take
and
you
2
some time.
remaster. Suikoden 1 and 2 remaster. I think I may have to. I don't know.
You could break that out into two, you know.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
But anyway. So
No, I feel you. Like, same here. I'm looking at my list, and there's definitely a lot that I could beat in a few hours if I like sit down. The problem is those few hour ones. I also feel like, oh, well, maybe I should try and get as many trophies and achievements, possible out of these.
yeah, see,
And
you care about that. I don't really.
yeah, and then also like some of these, like I quit specifically because I was not having fun with it. Like the Pac-Man worlds, for example. Both of them, to be honest. Pac-Man, I found Pac-Man World 1 boring, and then I got frustrated with Pac-Man World 2 trying to get the gold. It's like a time trial, get the gold rank in a time trial.
Mhm,
That just, like, for some reason, I was still like 30 seconds off,
mhm.
and that's a hell of a lot. And I was like, fuck this. It
Yeah.
just made me frustrated.
Yeah, no, games should be fun, man. Like you should be having fun. I
It
mean,
should be.
there's a fine balance, as you know, of like having fun versus um having it be just bullshit.
Yeah.
So, I had that way with Black Myth Wukong this year. Um,
Mhm.
I was having fun with it, and I was like, I can get through the bullshit. I can get through this bullshit. And then after a while, I was like, nah, this is too much bullshit now. I've reached my bullshit limit. So
No,
That's
I found a good medium with Black Myth Wukong. Like there were some bosses that were bullshit, and then
mhm,
finally when I beat like this one boss that was like complete and absolute bullshit, I felt good. Like if every boss I beat, I usually beat within the first maybe second try. But
mhm.
then I got to one called the Scorpion Lord, and the guy literally kept wiping me out in the like 2 hits, and I was like, "What the hell?"
That's
I thought
bullshit.
I was
That's
good.
bullshit.
That
Yeah.
that is bullshit. But eventually I finally managed to beat him, and then, like, I beat the final boss in, like, 2 tries, so, like, it's like the final boss is supposed to be one of the hardest ones. It's like, no, I found the Scorpion Lord to be a hell of a lot harder because of the fact that he, like, hits so freaking hard. I hate those. It's like you almost have no chance to learn the strategy because they kill you off so fast that when you try to get to the more aggressive parts of the battle, usually on the later half, like you have to go through so much more bullshit to get back to that point.
Yeah. Bullshit.
It is
Bullshit.
bullshit.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think a lot of I I think a lot we missed a lot of that with retro gaming where like you can actually learn boss patterns. Um
Hmm.
and like you can actually study a little bit before like even just jumping right into like, you know, take out this guy, take out this boss. Um I feel like sometimes even with like games like Elden Ring, Black Myth Wukong, all these other game types, these Souls like games that are like you don't learn boss types or like patterns until like you get your shit pushed in, and then it's like,
Hmm.
okay, well now I got to start over again.
Well,
Whatever.
yeah, they become smarter now, mostly because like you have different like instead of following a pattern that is programmed into it, now there's suggested like if you move in, the boss is going to now try and do such and such moves. If you heal, you aggro the boss to do such and such.
Hmm.
Or now like you get the boss to a certain percentage of their health down and they completely switch up and go into like a second or third phase mode.
Which
Which
obviously we
like
could talk that'll lead into our conversation with Art of Vengeance and Ragebound
mhm,
with this episode, because I think that's what made me appreciate the retro style a little bit more. It's like, wow, I can actually learn boss patterns, you know, and then even like
yeah.
the different phases, you know, once they get closer down to, less and less and less life, their patterns start to change.
Yeah, no,
Anyway,
I didn't really struggle, like, you know what, we'll talk about that, talk
yeah,
about that when we get to the Ninja Games. We
we
have other
keep
games
jumping
to talk
ahead.
about, though.
Keep
We
jumping ahead.
do. That's okay. We're talking about games, and that is what the whole purpose of this podcast is about.
Okay.
Talking about games. So, what have you been playing?
Uh, what do you want me to talk about first? You want me to just get the one game over with right away?
You know what? Rip
uh,
the Band-Aid off.
all right.
Rip it off.
I played Horses, man.
Mm,
I played the game Horses. For those out there in listener land, Horses is a game.
and
It
not a
actually
game
got
that you think it is.
no. I would hesitate to call this a game. I would say call it a
It
experience, so
ain't
to speak.
Barbie Horse Adventure.
Nope, it's not. Uh,
It's not
so
that mobile game that won that's not that horse mobile game that won mobile game of the year.
but close enough. Aren't those human horses in the
Horse
game?
girl.
In that game, horse girls. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
Okay.
not
So
not the decrepit ones that you're going to talk about. We're talking about the fun ones.
yeah, yeah. This game got a lot of controversies recently over the last like month because these developers put this game out on all the PC storefronts, Steam, Epic, good old games, whatever. And apparently there's some pretty grotesque and divisive content in the game and I think it all kind of leads to, I think, Steam taking away a lot of like porn X-rated games from their marketplace because credit card companies were refusing to acknowledge or refusing to allow these purchases on their cards. So
Hmm.
like Steam was like, okay, we gotta purge the storefront of all these like pornographic games. And apparently this game fell victim to it. Like a lot of different games fell victim to this whole push for like credit card companies to be like, we don't want you buying, you know, these pornographic games. Horses is a game where you're a boy who gets to help on a farm, and you're going to be there for 2 weeks. Apparently, you got in trouble with your family, so they just sent you to a horse farm, quote unquote, to uh, to work, for 2 weeks, hopefully to set you straight.
Such as those
And
good old country values.
yep, exactly. Working on the land, tending the fields. Um, so uh, one of your first jobs is to like take care of some vegetables in the garden, and then he
Hmm.
tells you, "Hey, you have to go um take care of the horses in the back." And you walk into the back of the farm, and all you see are a bunch of naked dudes and naked women with horse masks on them, and just mud and dirt and shit all over them, just in this small cage or whatever, the small like corral, whatever, just standing there. And um it's a little shocking to see at first, because me personally, I didn't know that that's what the game was about. Um and I was like, "Oh, okay. Human
Why
humans
is
with
this
masks."
farming game rated M for mature?
I was
Oh.
like, I was like, "What's the whole shtick about this?" So, and one of the first missions you have to do is you have to ride a horse, which I sent you guys the picture of that, and I was like, "Hey, this is a game I'm playing now." So you have to get
Now,
up
did
on
you
this.
censor that picture, or was that actually
No,
how the
no,
game?
the game is actually completely censored that way.
Okay. Well,
Our
that's good.
artistic choice, I imagine, because the boobs and the crotches,
Hmm.
they're all censored and stuff like that. Apparently there's a way to like hack into the game and change it to where if you want to see gritty PlayStation 1 visual style dongs, like, you can, if that's your thing.
People pushed for those gritty triangular boobs of Laura Croft back in the original Tomb Raider day.
We all used the topless code in that game. We all
Yep.
did. Yeah. But that was all we had.
Hmm.
So yeah, you have to like ride this horse across the track, and the farmer is like on top of a horse too. And when I say horse, I mean a human dressed as a horse. Okay,
Hmm.
and
A naked human dressed as a
yes,
horse.
yes, yes. So it goes day by day. So you wake up, you eat breakfast. Sometimes you have to feed the dog, and keep in mind the dog is also a human dressed in a dog mask. Um, there are some Depending on the day, you have different tasks and duties you have to do. Um, you have to let the farmer know if the horses are fornicating, which they're just all of a sudden you walk into the corral, and all of a sudden they're just like banging each other in the middle of the group. I mean, they're showing the action. There's sometimes you have to like pick up poop. Sometimes you have to like prepare hay. You have to prepare a grave site, whatever. How grotesque do you want me to go? Okay, if you okay, if okay, I apologize in advance. There's a scene where a horse hangs himself, so you have to cut the horse from the tree, dump it in a wheelbarrow, dig a grave, throw it in there, put a gravestone there. There's another scene where um, you have to punish a horse by whipping it multiple times to get it to do stuff. Um, there is a particular problem child horse. I think there's times where you have to like wash the horses down with a hose. So you're moving the hose around and stuff like that on their bodies. Probably the worst scene was where you have to castrate a horse.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
a
That's all
horse
I'm gonna
that's
say.
not a horse.
That's
Yeah.
all I'm gonna. That's all I'm gonna say about that. um. So apparently you read little diary journals, and then you even talk to the farmer who kind of tells you a little bit about his upbringing and stuff, and you get this sense. And then other people are involved in this farm too. There's a vet that comes in that I think had his way with one of the female horses. Eh, um there's another like family too that buys horses, you know. There's also, I think, a priest that comes in. uh
Horse.
yeah.
Priest is always involved. Go
Yeah, of
figure.
course. Well, that's the whole shtick. Like the game is 2-3 hours long, so I mean, if you really want to, you could knock this out in a sitting. And there's multiple different endings depending on how you react to the questions and to the
Hmm.
conversations that you have with everybody and some of the decisions you make. Um, so apparently, this kind of deals with a little bit of like uh, sexual trauma and frustration with this farm owner growing up, and just I guess being a shitty son to his father, being punished by his father all the time, and being beaten to death with this whole like impurity, sinful nature of like you know sex, violence, all this stuff. And I think like having human horses is his way of controlling the people around him, so to speak. It's a weird message. I'm not for sure if it's a weird message.
Hmm.
I'm just it kind of makes me think like who thought of this?
There, I know there's that artistic like choice of like how indies go about to express themselves, but sometimes I just question what the art is.
Yeah, and I question, the I guess that there's things in this game that are there for shock value.
Hmm.
Um and it's like you could be as disgusted as you want with it. Like the castration scene, for example. You could be as disgusted as you want with it, but you're going to have to dig pretty deep into finding out like why they chose that scene or why they chose that event as an important scene in the game to kind of tell the overall story of this guy's sexual and religious frustration. Um
Hmm.
because like there's like I think there's like a little you get little tidbits of like him growing up and really liking this girl, but then finding out that she was like kind of a whore, quote unquote, in the village. And he found out she was just every guy that she met, she was like, having sex with. And that pissed her off so much that he just wanted to, go around and beat these other men up. And so, yeah, a little bit of childhood trauma, all
You know
packaged
that
into a 3-hour game about horses.
that's yeah.
I I don't recommend it.
That's horses.
Um, yeah, I don't recommend it. Um, it's I suppose it's a game that if you got to see it to believe it,
Hmm.
and it's either going to piss you off or it's going to like disgust you. Um, like I said, there's multiple endings, and I don't think I'm going to do another playthrough just to get another ending. Um,
Yeah.
especially since when I beat it, I got the good ending. I got to set the horses free. So anyway,
Uh, if you're
but
looking for a good horror farming game, it's not out yet. I think there still might be a demo. It's called Fractured Bloom.
yeah, I have that on my wish list.
Yep.
Yep.
No, I got to play that over at PAX or West, and that game is something, but
Yeah.
it could be good. It's got potential, and it'll never make you think of tomatoes the same way again.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
Um, I also played and beat Detective Instinct, Farewell My Beloved. Um,
Uh-huh.
that was a game you guys put me on, and you know, because who was it we were supposed to be meeting with about this game?
I'm trying to get Celia
Okay,
with
Celia, that was it.
in on this one, and it's still a work in progress. I need to reach out to her again.
Okay, I would love to talk to her about this game because
Hmm.
it's a it's an interesting game. Not as like weird stakes involved. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it's basically
Hmm.
just like a visual novel, and
Yeah.
then you're moving around the area. It's like almost like an Agatha Christie novel.
Hmm.
Something happens on a train, and you have to, you're not detectives. It's you and Emma, your friend. You're on this train, and yeah, you have to solve the missing person case. Like, where is this person, so to speak? And you meet some interesting people along the way. You find some big conspiracies. You have to remember things. because
Mm-hmm.
they'll recap every so often, and it's always tough when you stop playing the game and then you pick it up again, and then happened once or twice where I was like, "Hey, let's recap." Like, oh no, I don't
I
remember.
messed up one part of those recaps when it came to name this person, and I
Yeah.
had the like I just spelled the name wrong, even though it's like you know I screwed up one of the vowels to the name,
Oh yeah. Yeah. I
and it's
think
like no,
I
you
hit
got
the
it's like no, that wasn't the name. The name is this. And it's like if you listen to how I pronounce or how I wrote it and how you wrote it, it is sounds like the exact same damn name.
yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know
Yeah.
what scene. But yeah, I thought it was actually, if anything, it was more of an interesting story connection between you, your character, and Emma. Um, Not necessarily a like a romantic type of relationship, but kind of like a really good friend type of um yeah, a really good like friendship kind of brewing at this, during this whole stressful scenario that these two kids were kind of in at the time. But
Hmm.
yeah, I would say 4 hours long. I think it took me a little over 4 hours long. Apparently I missed quite a few things when I looked at the trophy list, um, or the Steam achievement list. But I thought it was a good ending, good
Okay.
story, you know.
Well,
Um,
hopefully we can get Celia and we can actually do a deep dive on this.
Yeah, I would like to, because it's almost like I want to hesitate like sharing everything about it, but it's,
Hmm.
like I could see maybe sometimes some people like I think I expected more from the story, like I wanted a little bit more high stakes kind of stuff. I
Hmm.
think I was expecting to walk in and have it be like a Phoenix Wright style like story of just like, oh shit, what's happening, you know?
You spin
But
so around, you're so dizzy by the end of the episode.
yeah, right. So, and then I played Absolum. I think
Yeah.
that's how you say it. This is not a
Dot emus.
Yeah, this is not a game I would normally play.
No, it's not.
Um, but I heard good things about it, so I was like, I'll give it a shot, and I'm like 4 hours deep into it, and I hate it. I hate it. I hate these type of games, like these whole like you have one run and you get all the way to
Hmm.
the end, and all of a sudden you get your ass kicked, and it's like now you got to start all the way over again, and it's like, man, do I got to do all that over again? And the game just reminded me, hey, um, if you're going to be going after the final boss, you have to do it in one run. There's no save points or anything like that. And it's like, man,
Hmm.
it's not like the game is long, but like
Hmm.
it's the whole dying and trying over again is what makes the game long. And there's different branching paths. There's different objectives, that you can unlock if like, hey, you can go back and do this thing again on another run. You can unlock this other path if you do another
Hmm.
run. So it's kind of luckily the game is fun as hell. Luckily the combat is fun and rewarding. Um, Enough for
Yeah.
me to stay in it.
That's the only in my opinion, that's the only redeeming quality of a roguelike is you almost have to expect top-notch combat.
It better be freaking top notch. It better
Hmm.
be, because like I said, if it's frustrating, I'm not in it. There's no way that I'm going to keep doing this shit over and over and over again. If you want me to keep doing this over and over again, the combat better be fun. You know, And I'm glad they nailed that, because it's old school side scrolling. I mean, it's kind of similar to Hades in a way. Hades is more of that top down look, whereas
Hmm.
Absalom is like the side scrolling action beat 'em up, style that I like, kind of like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
Marvel Cosmic Universe type of stuff. And yeah, but yeah, I'm actually surprised, because it's like I die and I get pissed, and then I'm like, well, go on another run again.
So what now roguelikes are notorious for giving you an upgrade so that makes your runs easier in the
Yes,
long run. Like
yes.
what does this game do for it?
So you get I think you get like crystals or something like that. That's like you get gold in the game that gives you to buy things on your run. So like if you want to
Hmm.
buy upgrades like 10% health boost, 10% speed increase, whatever. Um there you get these crystals that you can kind of carry with you throughout the entire game. Doesn't matter if you die or not. So you spend those crystals on permanent upgrades. At the start of every run, you can start with some gold, or you get a 10% increase in health, or you can get access to certain other special abilities that you can purchase and buy as well. You can upgrade your abilities. So there's multiple different ways of actually like making your character stronger,
Hmm.
um, and just better equipped, so to speak. So yeah, it's like that classic Telltale. You're gonna suck the first round, but with each successive round, you get better. You get to know the enemy patterns better. Um, yeah, you unlock multiple different characters in your story. Like within the story, you have to find two characters that you can use throughout your gameplay. So like you could try different runs with different characters, see which
Hmm.
ones are better suited to your play style. Like they're not stronger than any one, but yeah, you can like get to know. I think there was one character called Cypher. I unlocked her and I was like, she's quick. Like I really like her style, but she's quick, she's fast, but she is her attacks are very weak. And that was I was kind of getting frustrated with that. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try something else.
Hmm.
I just got the frog mage. So I haven't tried him yet, but I love the art style. And honestly, the actors, the people that are doing the voice lines in this game, every single one of them, top notch. So good.
I think
Like
Samantha
what
Barrett's one of them.
I Samantha Barrett.
Yeah,
The,
she's famous for being Karlach in Baldur's Gate 3, the Devil Girl.
yes, she is. I think she's the main one of the main characters, the girl that I play as.
I think she is, if I only remembered how to spell her name.
Yeah, I'm trying to spell it too.
Samantha, Samantha, Beart. Yeah, Beart.
Oh yeah,
And yep, her character list is Cider. Her name is
cider.
Cider.
Okay, all right, yeah, that makes sense. Because whoever did her voice, like the character cider is talking through a mask.
Hmm.
Um, and it sounds like she's talking through a mask. So whoever did the kind of like sound effects with that, like nailed it pretty good. So
Hmm. Any other? Trying to see if there's anything else kind of recent that she's done that I would recognize.
yeah,
Oh.
I'm on her IMDb. Nothing
Yeah,
really.
Baldur's Gate is of course her famous one,
Hey, she
and then
plays as
yeah,
she does the voice of Gina Lestrade in the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. That's
really?
interesting. Yeah,
Huh.
that's interesting.
Wait, which one's Gina Lestrade?
She's the is
Is
she
she the
the
kid?
Scottish girl? Yeah, the Scottish kid that's always like
The one that
launching.
the thief that Slash becomes a detective?
Yep.
Okay, interesting. That's not tip. That's I would not have pictured that being Samantha.
Yeah. Hmm.
Huh, cool.
Good for her.
I've ran into her PAX East this year. I didn't say hi to her, but we were like sitting like 3 seats apart from each other during
Hmm.
a panel. So
Wow, cool.
it's pretty cool. Yep. She's pretty big friends with Ben Starr.
There you go, bragging about Ben Starr again.
Always. If I can brag
Always,
about
yeah.
Ben Starr, I will brag about Ben Starr.
I sure as would. I sure as hell would too. All right, what have you
Hmm.
been playing?
All right. Well, I picked up a really cool indie title, mostly because it's a kiddie game. And like I saw this when it was coming out and it looked good, but it was a PC only. But then after the Game Awards, they shadow dropped it onto the Switch. So I'm like, I'm going to pick this up. It's called Stars in the Trash.
Hmm.
It is made by a small indie developer called Valhalla Cats, and it's about it's a game where you play as a cat who gets off out of the house and onto an adventure. And it's got a very interesting animation style. Everything is hand drawn. So it kind of looks like something you might see out of a Disney film.
That's
And
cool.
yep, it's a very simple walking sim narrative. Like there isn't any like super complex puzzles you have to do in the game. There seems to be maybe some collectibles you can find, such as, well, balls that you can pop or like grass that you can eat or things that you can like stick your claws in.
This is
Um,
a Pat. This has Pat written all over it.
yeah,
Good lord.
it's got that
Yeah.
little stray vibe.
Hmm.
Um, but it's a pretty adorable game about a cat and also his dog friend that lives with him. They kind of both end up getting out of the house,
Hmm.
and the cat kind of goes on this like adventure that he's always been dreaming of. And he's not like a scaredy cat either. He's more of a bold. He's bold. He goes around. But the charm in this is definitely the art. Like
Hmm.
everything is hand drawn. Every character, every scene. And it is a very beautiful game. It's very short. You can beat this game in probably about 2 hours
Oh
at
wow.
most. Yeah. Um, but yeah, it's definitely got some interesting history about it. Like the guy constantly tried to get a publisher for this, but apparently publishers are not a fan of hand drawn art for some reason.
Okay.
Like maybe I think maybe they think of it as either too expensive or it takes too long. But a lot of publishers, when he went to show his product, were like, "No, no, we don't think it's going to do that well." But frankly put, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a very cute, it's a very cozy game
Hmm.
with with a lot of heart. If you like cats, I say give it give it a shot.
I'm gonna throw it on my wish list.
Yep, that was a fun one.
Yeah.
Uh, the next game I played is a controversial game. Kind of like how you had horses. I have one that is called Corpse Party.
I just yeah, actually looked this up to see if that well what that was the collection, right? That you just threw up.
Yep, the
Yep.
tetralogy pack. XSeed earlier this year came out with saying that they were going to bring the tetralogy pack to the Nintendo Switch and then eventually to PlayStation as well.
Hmm.
And they were going to release it around Halloween time. Halloween came and went. XSeed had no message about why it hadn't come out yet. And then I think around November, they finally got around saying, well, we couldn't get this game past the review process, so we're just going to cancel it. Uh,
uh
yeah, they just cancel it. And the originally two of these games are already out on the Switch right now. In this test trilogy pack, games number 1 and game number 4 are both out. So it's like, well, if I'm going to get invested into this series, I also want to see what game 2 and 3 uh, have. 3, I hear, is almost completely side story. You almost don't need any knowledge of that one
okay.
to play the other ones. But I hear game 4 has a lot of game 2 in it. So, it's like I need to at least get this. And you can find this game on, I believe it's the Vita. They were either PSP games or Vita games when they originally came out. And you
Hmm.
can also get them on the Steam stores, but I'm not really a big PC player. I'd rather have them all on a console. So once I heard the original copy or it got canceled, I immediately went and quickly like got a copy off of eBay before they raised the prices up on those bastards.
Mm,
Because all the other storage fronts that did these kind of games also were like sold out at the time
hmm.
because there was that rumor that the game was going to get canceled on America, which it did.
Okay.
And yeah. Anyways, why is it so controversial? It's probably because there's a lot of violence to kids, and we're talking about like kids ranging from the teenagers all the way down to like young elementary school, maybe like 9 years old. And we're talking very gruesome, very descriptive violence, maybe things with dull scissors scraping the back of your skull after piercing through an eyeball, and hearing the sounds and like the pains being described, and this is being done on a 12-year-old girl
Mm.
kind of pain. But they don't show those scenes, of course.
You got to rate this
Some
podcast rated M for mature,
Oh yeah, no, this
not
is
just for the swearing.
yeah, the game is, it can be gruesome, especially like with all the game allows you to have choices. The first game is kind of like in an RPG setting, or
Hmm.
like it looked like it was made out of an RPG Maker game, and but it's mostly a visual narrative with some puzzle elements where you find something and you like interact with other other things in the map.
Hmm.
However, like your interactions, whether you do something or not, or your timing during those interactions, like if you went and did something else instead of, going in the direction, you can inadvertently set off a different ending, which pretty much they are all bad endings unless you get the true ending. So it's
Reminds me of
kind of
those like
interesting.
99 room games or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called? Like Time Dilemma?
Oh, the Virtue's Last. Yeah,
Virtues, yeah, yeah. Where it's
yeah.
like there's multiple different endings and you could inadvertently walk into one and all of a sudden game's over in an hour.
hmm
And it's like, what?
Yeah. Well, the cool thing about those endings is that those can actually be connected into the grand scheme of the story. And
Right.
like you learn your character, the whole idea in those games is that your character develops this sense of, oh my God, like deja vu,
Hmm.
and, does something else different to that. This one, the ending is a bad ending, and you just reboot your game or you reboot a save point
Hmm.
from it. So I, of course, want to see what all these endings are because you get a nice little ending list of all the ones that you've unlocked. So I'm following a walkthrough with this. But yeah, it's a story about a group of teenage high schoolers who one of the friends is about ready to go off to is about ready to move away, so they want to do a friendship pact. And of course, the Japanese, their pacts are very ritualistic,
Hmm.
and if you screw up the ritual, something really bad's going to happen, which of course happens. And they get warped into this alternate dimension that is a former elementary school where some serial murders have happened. And so now they are trying to get out of this dimension that is holding them back while being hunted by ghost children, a serial killer, and their own sanity is going against them in this place.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's a very interesting tale. It is a very dark tale. Uh, but I am very curious to find out more about what's going on. I just got to past the chapter where they kind of reveal an interesting twist to the thing. So now it's like I think I have one more chapter in the main game left to go, and then some side content, and then I can move on to the next one.
Hmm.
And well, what's interesting is these four games are not considered two, three, four. They're just considered continuations of one because there actually is a sequel or a second game, which is supposed to be an entirely new story coming out next year, assuming it doesn't get canceled again.
When did the first game come out? Like, oh, it came out during the Vita era, right? Like, so these games are at least like
Yes.
15 years old
Good
at least.
good question. The first one came out March 8th, 2008 on the
Okay.
Microsoft Windows. Then a re-release was on PC Steam. Then it came out on the PlayStation Portable, which is the version that we have now,
Okay.
which in Japan is called Corpse Party Blood Cover Repeated Fear.
Hmm.
Yeah. And then, a couple more different games. The team that makes it is called Team Grizz, but the company that helped with it, especially on the later versions, is Mages, and they are well known for visual. They're like the kings of visual novel games. They are the ones that come out with the sci-fi adventures, which is Steins Gate is
Mhm.
like the most popular one of those. They also really helped out on the most recent uh, Detective, the Mio the Smiling Man, the Famicom series,
Mhm.
I think it was called. Yeah, but anyways, yeah, it's an interesting game. Definitely very Japanese. But I do enjoy a good Japanese horror because they Japanese know how to make a good horror. That's for sure. Their ghosts are a hell of a lot more creepier than our ghosts.
Yeah, no,
And
they know how to do horror, I think, better than. See,
yeah,
trying to put I want to put these games on my wish list. So there's Corpse Party
hmm
Blood Drive on
yeah.
the Vita,
Blood Drive is number 4.
number 4. Okay.
Book of Shadows is number 2. I think that was a Vita. The only one I think is only stuck on Steam is the
Book of
third
Shadows
one,
looks
which
like it's
is
on PSP, but I don't see a US copy of
Book
that game.
Shadows.
There's
That
just
might
regular
be
old Corpse Party on the 3DS.
that one's actually Blood Drive.
That's Blood Drive. Okay.
Yeah, Course Party 3DS is technically Blood Drive, but you know,
Okay.
naming conventions.
Let's see. There's Corpse
Um,
Party 2 Darkness Distortion. That's the one that's coming out for the PS5.
that's the new one that's coming out. It's
Okay.
supposed to be a whole new story, new characters, not tied to the Hope Elementary School. This one I think is tied to a hospital.
Okay, got it. All right.
Yeah. The only one I think that was officially it's only stuck on Steam in America is the Corpse Party Suite Sachiko's Historic Birthday Bash.
What? Say it
Yes,
all
that
again.
is the full Corpse Party Suite Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash.
Got it. Okay.
And that's the one that's kind of more of a side story that's not entirely related. Like it's
Oh,
got the characters, but it's like you could I think might be able to like edit it out so that it doesn't need to be part of the story.
okay.
Anyways, I don't know. I'll have to play it. Um, but right now my focus is on Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Um, I have been craving the Tomb Raider series, and I'm so glad that we finally get a not only a remake of the first one. That one I kind of was like, okay, you know what? I could live with the remake of the first one again, even though we have a remake of the first one that's still
Yeah.
fairly good. But this one's being done by the people that did Evil West.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Evil
yeah,
West was a good game.
yeah. It was surprisingly, you know, it exceeded expectations. Like I didn't go in very much, like
It was
with
the best Gears of
high
War game
expectation.
we've gotten since 3.
You know what? I would agree with that. And it was cool, like punching people really hard with your gauntlet, and like
Yeah.
the weapons all felt powerful.
Super satisfying.
hmm So I'm kind of curious how that's going to be implemented into a Tomb Raider game, seeing how very linear that Evil West was and combat focused.
I mean, if the gameplay trailer is any indication of what the game actually looks like, I
Yeah.
mean, you know,
I'm also very curious in like are these like is this going to be carried over in from the Survivor series, which if you finished Shadow of the Tomb Raider ends with the preposition from Natla, giving Laura her mission to go seek out the artifact in Tomb Raider.
Okay.
So I kind of wonder if maybe uh, the remake is going to somehow be re-envisioned to incorporate the Survivor series more.
I'm going to say, yeah, maybe the Survivor series was kind of like a prequel of sorts and almost like an attempted reboot. I wouldn't be
Hmm.
surprised if that's where they were going, because especially since we're getting a whole new game right after that. So,
Yeah, and it'd be
I
interesting to
have
see how
all the
the new game goes
remasters.
too.
I have all the remasters, physical copy on the Switch.
Hmm.
So it's like one through 3, and then 4, 5, and 6. So,
Yep.
um, I wonder if I'm going to be playing that in January.
You see, like when you mentioned goals, like I almost want to say I would love to go through the entirety of the Tomb Raider series again.
Yeah.
Well, not necessarily again. The only one of the original series I beat was 2.
Okay.
Until this year. This year I actually beat 1, the
Hmm.
original one. Well, the remaster of the original one.
Okay, the remaster. All right.
Yeah. So yeah, they're modern controls because my God, the tank controls are hard
Yeah.
on that
Yeah,
one.
that was rough going back into that.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I did Tomb Raider 1 and I did beat the DLC to Tomb Raider 1 as well, the Unfinished Business. And
Hmm.
so I replayed 2, a good chunk of it, and I got to I forget where the mountains are located. I keep wanting to say it's Siberia, but I don't it's not Siberia. It might be Tibet, but anyways, the snowy mountains in number 2, which is a little over halfway.
Yeah.
And so I need to finish that. But 3 through 6, I played 3, never beat 3, and I had not played 4 through 6. So I kind of want to try those
Yeah, I
again,
haven't
or
actually played
try
those
those.
ones either.
Hmm. But I also I really enjoyed the Legacy series as well.
Hmm.
Um, I remember trying to play Shat or Underworld. You know what that I don't know. Did I actually try that this year? And was that not on my game list? I don't remember if I played that
Underworld's
this year or last year.
Underworld's a pretty divisive game. It was a little
Hmm.
bit different than what the normal Tomb Raider games were. A little bit more supernatural, I think.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they all kind of have a little supernatural element to
Hmm.
that, but that one definitely hit heavier on like Norse mythology.
Yeah.
Um, but
I did a
the prep.
yeah, I forgot I did this. October of last year, I did a Laura Croft icon episode. Um so for those out there in listener land, I have another solo podcast, Retro XP. It was titled Laura Croft, a video game icon.
Hmm.
So I think I talk
Yeah.
about all of the games that she was involved in. I didn't realize, I think the first like 3 or 4 games were all done within a year apart of each other. Like they just cranked them out.
I could
And
do that back then.
yeah, because it was like the moment they were done with the one game, they just started working on the next one. And
Hmm.
I forget what happened. I think I think it was after 3 or something like that. Like the studio was like, "We're done. We're tired of this." So I think they went on to do other things, and they kind of farmed out the rest of the series to other developers, which is probably why I would say after 3, all the games were kind of much different from each other. So
Well, you had Last Revelation, which was supposed to be the last one,
yeah.
uh, based on how it ended.
Hmm.
But then, of course, you can't just quit on the series, especially
No,
one like that. You have to milk that cow.
hell yeah, you do.
Yeah. So
So we got Tomb
that's
Raider
why.
Legends, we got Tomb Raider Anniversary. Well, Tomb
Hmm.
Raider, the first remake of the first Tomb Raider.
Yep. And then we had Underworld, which I thought was cool, and I liked how the Legacy series like tried to play off of the original one with
Wait, did
like
Underworld come out after Legend? I don't think so.
Yeah, Underworld came out after Legend. It came Legend was the start of a new Tomb Raider series, but
Right.
then they did Anniversary or Legend introduced a villain, or I don't remember if the villain was
Yes, Tomb
introduced
Raider
at the
under.
very
You're right.
end,
Hmm.
but the I think it revealed Nat Love was still around, so they remade Anniversary to give you the Legends feel, but remaster that or remake the first game so that they explain Natla's backstory
Hmm.
because she is the antagonist then of Underworld.
Right. I don't know why I was getting Underworld mixed up with Angel of Darkness.
Yeah, Angel of Darkness. Yeah, that was a controversial one.
That was a controversial one. I don't have Underworld. I have a lot of Tomb Raiders,
You don't
and
have
I
Underworld.
don't have Underworld. Ooh, that's
That's a
that's got to
360.
change. That's got to change. Well, it came
It's a
out on the
360.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Xbox 360, PS3. You're right.
yeah. The issue I had though is that the Xbox 360 version, like I tried playing it on the Series X, and it doesn't play very well.
Mm,
Like it crashed a hell of a lot.
okay.
A hell of a lot to the point where I think I like the last crash made me lose like an hour of progress. And these were the games where you still had to manually save. So I ended up just like not finishing that one.
Hmm.
Anyways, I
So I
really
wonder
wanted to
if I
play a
should get
Tomb
it for
Raider
the
game.
PS3. It came out on the PS2. It looks like. Huh.
Did
Anyway,
it? I don't remember if it did or not. I
yeah.
guess I would.
PlayStation 2 in 2009. Um,
Mhm.
I think it came out like a month after it had released on the PS3 and 360. Of course, we all were buying it for the 360 and PS3 at the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of how you did it. Like even though like the Survivor series started technically on the Survivors was a PS3 game, right? If I remember, and then Rise came out on Xbox One initially, and then it came out on the PS4, and then Shadows was
Yes.
a PS4.
Yep.
Yeah, and then they came out with the Definitive Edition, which was the PS4 version of Survivor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's how that one went.
Yep. Good Tomb Raider history that we just gave you all. And
I
keep in
love
mind, this
this
is all
series.
free content.
Hmm. Well, free after the first week. You have
Yes,
to
of
pay a
course.
dollar to get You have to pay a dollar to get this early, but it's a
Join our
dollar well
Patreon.
worth spending.
Join the Boss Rush Patreon.
Pretty much. No,
What'd you say before?
I would love to do deep dives on the Tomb Raider. Like maybe for like New Year's, I could at least try to focus on like if I finish well, I am finishing Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but I feel like maybe though what I'm gonna do, I don't know if I'm gonna jump back and finish 2. I should, but
Mm-hmm.
I might just go right into 4 and play some of the ones I've never played before.
Do it.
Yeah,
You've already
and I
made your
know it's out of
decision. Do it.
it's out of order, which part of my mind is like doing what the hell you doing, man. You have to start with 1 and move yourself through the series. Don't you
Nah.
hate that when you like? But it's like,
I thought about that because the new Dragon Quest game that's coming out.
yeah, 7.
Yeah, I read a pretty lengthy article in Game Informer recently about this game, and I'm kind of intrigued. And I've never played a Dragon Quest game ever.
What?
Never, never,
What?
never.
What?
I don't have a single game in my collection. Never played it. I didn't I tell you that? I swear I've told you this before.
If you did, I must have been so shocked that it just like I did not register it. Kind of
Basically,
like
just
right
blasted
now.
out. Yeah, blasted out. You remember? Yeah, obvious. You are genuinely shocked. That is actually kind of funny. Okay, I've never played a Dragon Quest game. However, I feel like I should be starting with these HD remakes, huh? Because
HD remakes are a good place to start.
3 is a prequel to 1 and 2. I heard, right?
Yes, and
Okay.
the way they designed it, 3 is definitely where you want to start.
Okay.
with the remake, because they remastered one or remade 1 and 2 in such a way that also incorporates. They all incorporate each other now.
Right. Yeah.
Like it was meant to be all one story rather than like, oh, we came out with the game, it did successful, we came out with another game, you know.
Okay.
So
All right. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna have to do. I guess I'm just gonna have to get
mhm,
the three HD remake, and then yeah, we'll see.
yeah. But 7 would also might be an interesting place to start. It typically is considered the longest one, but
Uh huh.
this is a reimagining. They say they are purposely making this one different and not
Yep.
like it's going to be same concept, but they might they might remove some more from the original because this is the second remake of 7 now.
Yeah, because they remade it on the DS once before
Yep,
or something.
and they
Yep.
cut content from the original onto the DS. Like
Hmm.
the original one, it took almost 3 hours before you actually got into a combat scenario
Yeah.
in the original one,
That's what
and
they were.
they
That's what they were
managed.
writing in the article. They were like, they mentioned that how it takes too long to get into your first combat scenario, which
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
people could be done with your game even before the gameplay even begins.
hmm
That's crazy. That's funny.
yeah. So the 3DS version, of course, cut that down. You get fights within the first hour.
Okay.
But I hear though that they're still like refining it for this version too, and it's going to be very different from the original.
Hmm.
So
Cool. Well, I'm color me intrigued. Color me intrigued.
you know
We'll
what?
see.
I think I'm gonna try and get Chad on an episode here, and we're gonna talk Dragon Quest. He's
Well,
the he's the Square PR guy,
okay. Well, I
and
need to be
that's his
convinced. I
chance.
need to be convinced. So we need it. We need an expert on here. I
Oh,
mean, not to
dude,
say that you're not an expert, but
Chad Chad will convince you in like 5 words or so.
okay.
Like
o-
he's a cool guy.
Okay. Okay.
Really, really freaking cool. Follow him on Twitter.
All right.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it.
Anyways, yeah, Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It's a interesting story. It dives into a more darker side of Laura Croft as she feels the weight of the world is on her shoulders, and that she's the only one that can stop the evil organizations of Trinity from re-imaging the world in their image.
No matter how many innocent people she kills on her way.
uh,
It's a
you know,
footnote.
it's
It's a footnote.
I feel
Uh,
like it's unfair to her because maybe like
yeah,
if
throughout the
she didn't
entire
do
game,
it.
she's like, none of this is my fault. All this destruction, none of this is my fault.
No, actually, I noticed it's the other way around. She's holding the blame, and Jonah's the one's like, "You don't know that. You don't
Yeah.
know that you are the direct cause of this." But in her mind, she is the one that set off the cataclysmic events that leads to the climax of the Shadow of the Tomb Raider series, is to stop the apocalypse from happening,
Hmm.
which was originally set off because of the first treasure that you snatch in Shadows. Um, but what I like is that it is a very, the game tells a very personal story, even after like this is the third one of this now, and you still see an evolution to Laura. And for me, the star is Jonah, her best friend. And Jonah just comes off as like the most grounded and logical person, and like the best other side of the coin that Laura's going through.
Hmm.
Like when Laura is being frantic and, like bearing the weight of the world on her shoulders, Jonah's the one that's like, you don't have to bear this alone. You aren't the issue here. You are a good person, you know, but we need to stay focused here. Like there's a scene after the first cataclysmic event where she's like, we have to go and stop Trinity from doing this, and Jonah's like, we will do this, but first we have to take care of these people because this is where we're needed right now. And it's a very emotional, very like powerful scene. Like I managed to clip the whole thing, and like I've rewatched it several times. I just also reached another scene earlier today that kind of shows the transformation of Laura going to a more darker side, where she kind of like comes out of like it's nighttime, you're in an oil refinery area, and like the water's kind of on fire. And
Hmm.
she's like coming out of the water, and you just kind of see this dark silhouette with like flames in the background, and you're like, oh shit, she just went to the dark side.
Oh, she's pissed now. Yeah, I remember that scene.
And then you get that like really awesome machine gun that just wrecks absolute havoc and is like blowing shit up. And
Hmm.
you're fighting a helicopter right after that, and it's like, she went to berserk mode. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm
I never,
enjoying
I
it.
never beat it. I never beat it, and I think that was definitely one game that I not necessarily I didn't like. I think I just maybe set it aside for something else at the time.
I will
But
say the pacing is the hardest thing in the game because they
mhm.
filled it up with a lot of side stuff and a lot of collectibles to find around that I think kind of interrupts the story a little
Yeah,
bit. Like they're meant to flesh out some of the side characters, especially the DLC and the seven additional tombs that they added
mhm.
are meant to flesh out
7.
a lot of the side. There were seven tombs that they added to this game.
Holy crap.
Yeah, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to go back into Shadows is because I didn't finish all of them.
Mhm.
Um, like they came out every few weeks, I think, or maybe every month. I don't remember. But
Hmm.
so that was like, that's one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to 100% this game finally, and I wanted to get through all the DLC. But yeah, it's I would say the pacing's the hardest part is because like eventually you find a village that has a hell of a lot of NPCs in it and different side things that you can do and so many different collectibles that you can find around it that just slows everything down. And then it picks back up once you leave that village.
I think I know the village that you're talking about. That
Yeah.
could be where I actually stopped playing. I mean, it's been years since I
Hmm.
last played a Tomb Raider, since I last played that game.
Yeah.
So,
But no,
I have them
I
still. I have them all.
I love the Tomb Raider series. I don't know, like if I know, like for me, like Tomb Raider is probably the definitive adventure game.
Yeah.
Like if people had to choose, sure, Uncharted had like better stories and stuff, and then Tomb Raider focused more on like the action. But then, like the Survivor series also said, "Hey, we can actually tell a decent story with some good characters in this one as well."
Well, I think the Tomb Raider, if you're comparing Tomb Raider to Uncharted, I've always felt like Uncharted was a little bit more, um, kind of actiony, I guess, a little bit. And it was almost like Nathan Drake was kind of like this bumbling idiot, whereas Laura Croft was a little bit more confident, a
Hmm.
little bit more bold, um, than Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake was kind of a bumbling buffoon, like I said, where he's just
Yeah.
like, and it's kind of comedic in a way. It's funny. He means well. He's got a heart of gold, whatever. But man, he's an
Hmm.
idiot. But
Yep.
Laura Croft was always like, step back. I know what the fuck I'm doing. You know,
Yeah.
and I think I like that about Laura Croft over Nathan Drake. Um,
Maybe that's why the new series has always been a little more on the controversial side. Is that they you see Laura make her fuck ups here too,
yeah,
and not as entirely confident as like the original series has been. And so maybe that's like, oh, she's no longer the strong, badass woman that we initially saw her as.
yeah, and I wish people could have separated it because I remember at the time when the first Survivor game came out, the reboot, so to speak. Um,
Hmm.
a lot of people were complaining. It's like, here's Laura, like, complaining and whining and crying all the time. It's like this is an origin story.
Hmm.
Every hero has their origin story. Every hero has that point, before they became who they are, where yeah, they were weak, they were unsure of themselves, they were like, obviously, just obviously not the strong, confident character. No one's born that way. So I just wish people would have maybe separated that. It's like, okay, this is a really good origin story into like how she became who she is now. Um,
Hmm.
but I'm
Yeah.
curious to see what this reboot's going to bring, though.
Yeah, and the new game, like I want to know if are they reinventing her or are we continuing to see the Survivor, which I would consider Crystal Dynamics version of Laura.
Yep. Yep.
Hmm.
I would like to see them continue. I mean, obviously that's still all canon in the universe.
Hmm.
So I
Yep.
would like for them to at least continue that. And it's still playable to this day, very easily playable. I always think like sometimes when you have a game series that's so long and storied, and if it's like a lot of those games are not playable, um, by any conventional means,
Hmm.
like any modern means, that's when you can get into the weeds of like, well, we could tell a fully new story, you know.
Hmm.
That's why at the very least I'm glad that we have all the original games that are available to be played on, those Tomb Raider collections that we got.
Yeah.
But
No,
of
and
course we have the PlayStation 2 games that not all of them are available, I think. Or no, I think
well,
they
we
are.
two of them are now.
Yeah.
Legacy and Anniversary literally just came out like a couple weeks ago.
Yep, I
So
remember.
we
Yeah.
need they need to port over Shadow or not Shadows. They need to port over Underworld.
Underworld, Angel of
Underworld, yes.
Darkness. I think that's a
Angel of
PS2 game.
Darkness is no Angel of Darkness is 6, and that's on your
It is?
remastered collections.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I thought that was its own separate. Okay, never mind.
Yep. No, Angel of Darkness is 6. Chronicles is it called Chronicles? The one where a bunch of people are sitting around at a table telling stories about Lara Croft.
Sounds like that would be.
Uh, and then Last Revelation. You know what? Tomb Raider 5. What is that one called? Yeah, Tomb Raider Chronicles. So 4, 5, and 6 is Last Revelation, Tomb
Mhm.
Raider Chronicles, and Angel of Darkness.
Makes sense. Okay.
Yep. So we're just missing Underworld. And once that comes out or gets updated version that's playable PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, then you have like no. There's also those two other ones, the Lara Croft series, the kind of like top-down view ones,
Yeah, the
Temple of Osiris,
Temple of
and
Osiris,
I think the other. What was the other one called? Was the other one
light
Last Set?
uh light of something? Is that? I don't know.
Yeah. Anyways, so
Yeah.
those two and Underworld. Uh, but what's cool is Shadows seriously looks better than some PS5 games I've played. It's crazy how good the game freaking looks.
Yeah.
And it's almost, I don't remember how old it is now. It's at least, no, 2018. So it's almost 8 years old. And it still looks fantastic.
There's still a lot of Tomb Raider games I don't have. I don't think I have Angel of Darkness. I have 1, 2, and 3. I have Chronicles and The Last Revelation. I
Hmm.
even have Tomb Raider for the Sega Saturn. Ugh. That's the funny thing because initially this game was supposed to be a Sega Saturn exclusive. And then they jumped ship to the PlayStation almost last minute.
Hmm.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
need to beef up the collection here, buddy.
Yep. Maybe 2026 is going to be the start of the year of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Because we could say for sure that the year 2025 was the year of the ninja.
Yes. You're the ninja.
We had 3 ninja games literally come out within 3 months of each other. Although one of them was a 3D ninja game, and I don't know if we really want to talk about that, especially because I've never actually played Ninja Gaiden 4.
I did.
But you did?
Yep.
Best
Really
Ninja
good.
Gaiden. Is it Gaiden or Gaiden?
Okay. All right. I say Gaiden. I say Gaiden.
And I feel
The,
like I swap between the two.
yeah. I
Hmm.
think that's well, because I played the Ninja Gaiden games when I was growing up, so I think that's just where it came from. My internal memory of reading about this game and seeing the cover art, I just always refer to it as Gaiden. That's it. Um, I don't know if I heard it somewhere said a certain way or what, but um, I don't know if that's actually how you say it or not.
We could probably just Google what it is. I think it's Gaiden to be true.
Yeah.
And I probably just say Gaiden at times because that's kind of a more Wisconsin accent
Hmm.
kicking that out.
Yeah, it's Gaiden.
Yeah. But just the word like Ninja Gate, like it's easier to say Ninja Gaiden than it is to say Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, especially if you're a
It,
Midwesterner.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would probably say it's Gaiden. Gaiden.
Okay. All right. You're gonna have to say that 200 times in the mirror before you go to bed tonight, and then tomorrow you'll be right as rain.
Radio. Anyways, you're the ninja. So we got two ninja games, two 2D ninja games reminiscent of the good old retro days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and they were they were considered like Ninja Gaiden. Originally came out on the Nintendo system, so that was like Nintendo's Ninja.
Mm-hmm.
And then Shinobi, or is it Shinobi?
Shinobi.
Yeah, it's Shinobi.
Now you're gonna make
Uh,
me Google it for crying out loud.
it's Shinobi.
Yeah. Okay.
Shinobi was made by Sega, so that was Sega's Ninja game. And so it was kind of like a war. Which Ninja game was better?
Mm-hmm. And admittedly, they were different. Back then, there were different styles. Shinobi was a little bit more arcadey. I want to say it became popular in the arcades versus, as opposed to coming out on the Sega Genesis. I know Ninja Gaiden did get its start on in the arcade circuit, but it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
nearly as popular. It was actually a night and day difference compared to the Nintendo version. But admittedly, it wasn't a good arcade game. But Shinobi was a really good arcade game, at least the first
Mm-hmm.
two. I think there were three technically arcade versions of Shinobi.
Okay. Now, were those like quarter? Were those games where like you died, you popped in a quarter, and you just continued right where you started, or did they kick you back at the beginning again?
No, you got to start right away, obviously. At least from what I
Okay.
remember. Good old fashioned continue screen, pop in the quarter, you keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So
You got 9 seconds to put in a quarter. Oh, we
yeah,
didn't register your quarter. Better put in
yeah,
another quarter.
yeah. No kidding. You put that quarter in, and that anxiety. It's like, why isn't it hitting start? Oh no, did it not register my quarter? Now you're hitting the thing, and now you're
Yeah,
pushing the
you're
button,
hitting
and it's
the eject
yep.
button. It's like, give me my quarter back. I need it.
Yeah, no kidding. And then it gives you your quarterback, and now you got 3 seconds, so now your hands are shaking even more. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
you brought back a lot of painful memories, Pat.
Oh, those were the days.
Oh yeah, those are the days.
That's how you knew you wasted your money if you didn't get that last quarter in there.
Yeah, and all of a sudden you go back to your parents. I just wasted my last quarter on a game and I didn't use it. Can I get another one? Nope.
Yeah, I need to beat the game,
Yeah.
but I need all the money I had so that I can get back to that point again.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Kids got it good these days. They got save states. They got memory cards. All this shit. We don't have that.
Rewind features. I love that rewind feature, but my gosh, that was a game changer.
Oh, it sure was. But anyway, so you played both of them, Art of
Yep.
Vengeance and Ragebound.
Yep. It's been a while since I played Ragebound. I think I last played that probably around September-ish, end of
Mm-hmm.
September. But I actually, for this podcast, finished up Shinobi Art of Vengeance and 100% of that for this.
Oh, cool, good.
Yeah.
I,
So,
d- I did both. I think I more so 100%ed. I didn't do the boss rush mode in Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Um, I just had full completion of every level.
mhm.
And Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, I think the only thing I didn't do was really complete the full game on hard mode, which I tried. I got through, I think, the first couple stages, and I'm like, I'm over it.
Well, what's funny is I hear the way to play hard mode is by switching up the modifiers so that you don't die.
Yeah. Yeah,
I hear
it's
that's
it
that's almost the only way you can do that one, especially the end of, again, reminder of this podcast, we are diving into spoiler territories on these game or topics of the week. So just a reminder, yes, we will really be talking about endings and
mhm.
bosses and all that fun stuff that might spoil a game. So you've been warned. Anyways, yeah. So if you play it on hard mode, you have to go through a boss rush at the very end of hard mode for Ninja Gaiden. And like if you die, you have to start over again. So
Just
people
like
say you
just
almost have to completely eliminate damage from that and it becomes playable.
mhm. Just like the old days. You die. Well, I mean, now I think they make games hard on purpose. But
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think I could do that. You know, the nice thing about, and I talked about this earlier in the episode, that all the bosses have patterns. And
Hmm.
once you get that pattern and once you can predict when that pattern is going to start, the game can be the boss battles can be kind of easy, you know. You may slip up, you know, you may mess up the timing here and there or whatever, but um you know, once you get the patterns, the bosses are kind of easy, so to speak. But of course, it takes a long time to memorize these patterns. You're going to die
Hmm.
quite a few times. And Shinobi is the same way. It's, you know, I would argue to say that I think some of the bosses in Shinobi Art of Vengeance were a little bit harder than
Really?
Ragebound.
I found them easier than Ragebound, in my
You know,
opinion.
and maybe that could be, you know, fresher memory, because I
I
beat Shinobi Art of Vengeance
mhm.
more recently than Ragebound.
I
Um,
feel that Ragebound though, because Ragebound doesn't deal with like combos and stuff. Like it's pretty much slashes and like kunai,
yeah,
if
and
I
I want to say
remember.
your attacks in Ragebound are a little bit more um
Fluid, in
fluid.
my
Yeah, they're
my
they're more fluid and they're more powerful. Like Shinobi, like you have to, and that's the thing about Art of Vengeance. It was so different than the previous titles because the previous titles, your main weapon was the kunai, you know, those like
Mhm.
throwing blades. And in this one, it's your sword, which is completely different than the previous version. So if you're an old school Shinobi fan like myself, that's that's not what Shinobi was.
Mhm.
However, I'm all for, you know, looking forward and, you know, hey, if you want a good ninja game, give him a sword, give him a katana blade. But yeah, I think the enemies in Shinobi were a little bit more weapon sponges than Ragebound.
That normal enemies, I would agree. Bosses, it might be a tie, in my opinion. Like the bosses took a lot of hits in Ragebound, in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
I'll give you that one.
yeah, but those normal enemies were supposed, like, for me, in Ragebound, the combat was almost rhythmic, in that regard. You were supposed to attack enemies in a certain way so that, like, you would find those ones that had the charge up attack,
Mhm.
so that, like, you have to attack those ones first and then attack the bigger enemy with the charge up attack. But it was almost like, it had like a flow or rhythm that you had to go through. Where Shinobi, uh, it felt more like, I mean, you could kind of pick and choose what you wanted. It was probably better to go after the flying ones or the ones that shot you.
Mhm.
Uh, those
Yeah,
freaking
the snipers.
oh god,
Oh my god,
sniper.
if you get clapped by one of those snipers in Shinobi, oh my god, that's like half your life bar gone.
They were unfair. Well, they not necessarily unfair. They went down in one hit. So,
Yeah. Yeah, but if you're not paying attention to that laser sight that, you know, pops
hmm,
across your screen, yeah, you're going to get punished.
yeah. For me, I think the worst fights in the Shinobi was when they put in the two Onis, the big fat giants,
Oh yeah.
and one of them's a blue one and one's a red,
Mhm.
and like. what sucked is when they separated from each other and started like one would hit and then the other. It's like you're trying so desperately to get them together and synchronize their attack together.
Hmm.
Otherwise, like you just got your ass clobbered in like 5 hits.
Yeah, and they're all shielded, so you're trying to use your charge up attack, but it's like it's not charging fast enough.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
I would
man.
say, I mean, that was definitely the biggest difference. Shinobi had more of a combo system.
Hmm.
Uh, a little bit less fluid and a little bit more like combat focused, where you're chaining together combos, you're charging up attacks, you're using different abilities and stuff to, and a lot of enemies, they're shielded, they're armored, so you
Hmm.
have to, some of them are blocking, so you have to break their blocks. Some of them have shields. Like there's more different enemy types here as opposed to Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, where it's like,
Hmm. And then you
yeah.
also had the ability reset in rate or in Art of Vengeance, where like it's you're fighting. Your idea is you get most of your combo through, and then you hit the dodge button. Otherwise, your character is like, okay, cool down before being able to hit again.
Hmm.
You have to hit that. Like it's a strategy to do the dodge button so that you can jump right back into a combo again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you didn't have that in Ragebound.
No.
You
No.
didn't have any cooldown whatsoever. You could literally just, spam your weapons
And I
on that
think
one.
that's almost like what made Ragebound a little bit more of a kind of like a speed platformer, because I don't know if
Hmm.
you got into those moments where it's like you just want to like burn through this level quickly. So
Yeah.
it's like one of my favorite ability in Ragebound is the ability to jump off of enemies.
Yeah.
You do your spin attack, and I that definitely is what they got. It's the same developers that did the Blasphemous series. So
Hmm.
I remember in Blasphemous 2, you could like jump off of like candles and other like in pieces in the environment to jump higher or to jump longer in succession. So it's like so cool to just like run through a level and then just jump off certain enemies and just keep going, to that
Hmm.
glorious, glorious soundtrack. God, it's such a good soundtrack.
It did. I would say Ragebound probably had the better soundtrack
Oh,
than
by
Art of
far,
Vengeance did. Yeah.
by far, 100%.
Hmm.
I think it. I think there's more iconic tracks in the Ninja Gaiden series than there are in Shinobi. I know there were like a couple like remastered or redone tracks in Shinobi Art of Vengeance, but for me, I think I was more of a Ninja Gaiden kid growing up, so I think I had more of an ear to Sergio. I forget his last name, but he's the one that did a lot of the music for Ragebound, and I think some of the original composers actually came back to do the Ragebound soundtrack too, or at least do some consulting. So it's like you could hear a lot of the old tracks in the new soundtrack. It's so cool.
Hmm. Yeah. What else? Exploration.
I should have brought that
In both
acrylic
of
model
these,
thing. Why didn't I bring that acrylic model thing up to the computer? I
you
was
have an
talking
acrylic.
about, yeah, the three way, the three
Oh
layer,
yeah.
yeah, because I got the special edition from Silver Lining Games, I think, or something.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah. All right. So level design. Um, Ninja Gaiden, Ragebound, Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Gaiden,
We have Gaiden. We have Ninja Gaiden was a lot more straightforward.
more
Um,
linear.
yeah, very linear. With occasionally you had the opportunity to switch over to the second character and do a little platforming here and there.
Hmm.
Uh, and then Shinobi almost had a slight Metroidvania approach to their level, um, where they had a lot more puzzle and side stuff that you could find, like the elite battles or the relics, or even the portals that lead into the other world with a massive platforming challenge.
Hmm. I did like
Um,
the kind of like addition of that Black Spider Clan. I think Kamari.
yeah.
Um, I liked her addition because it was like it was almost like timed, which was kind of
Hmm.
interesting because In the game, like I think within the first few levels, she dies. And in order for you to rescue her, so to speak, you have to like inhabit, or her soul inhabits you, and then you can, yeah, use her in multiple different scenarios to maybe get past certain
Hmm.
doors, or even you use her like kunai ability, which is cool,
Hmm.
like you said.
I feel like though that's one of the things I didn't like about Ninja Gaiden is they introduce her. She is a very different. She plays very different from yeah, I forget what the main character's name was again. From the main ninja, and then like you are now replaced, or her character is replaced by the main ninja through the entirety of the game
Hmm.
afterwards, except
Kenji.
for
Oh my god, I don't
Kenji.
know why.
Thank you.
I was like, I know it's on the tip of my tongue. Jesus.
It's like one of those typical ninja Japanese names.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kenji.
Kenji.
Yeah, so you play as Kenji. Uh, Kenji, right? Not Genji.
Kenji with a K.
Okay, yeah.
It's
You
not as
play as
simple as
Kenji.
Joe Musashi from Shinobi. That's a
Yeah, Joe.
very, very unique
What's your
Joe.
name? Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like she obviously felt more like platformish, and so when you do finally get to play with her during those like optional like paths that you mentioned are timed, I don't know. I didn't really like that she was introduced the way she was, only to
Hmm.
have most of her content like just walled off until I think the final battle where you can choose who you fight the final battle with.
Yeah, because
Like,
there is a choice in the end that you have to make on who stays and who goes.
yeah.
So, and 9 times out of 10, I know most of you guys are going to pick Kenji, which I did.
Well, that to get the true ending, you actually Kenji's the one that's supposed to stay.
Stay. Yeah, Kenji's the one that's supposed to stay.
Yeah. Because then the true ending kind of shows him as, or hints that he got out
Hmm.
somehow. But
Yeah,
anyways, I that was one of my
I do
big
wish.
complaints.
Yeah, I do wish that we had more levels with Komori, like
Hmm.
as an actual playable character, because that level that when she starts in the Black Spider Clan tower, where you're like basically ascending and descending, trying to get to the kind of like the main room where all the
I really like that level too.
I really did too, and I was like, man, it'd be cool if they did kind of more of this. Like it'd be cool if we got maybe more levels of her, you know, with we even maybe not even with the, but yeah, I would say maybe with those style of levels uh with her, because yeah, it was a different play style. I much prefer playing as Kenji, but I mean, if you're going to be introducing a second character, I just almost wish like we got more of her before she was relegated to be like a indwelling soul. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that. Um, but I do also, and on the Shinobi side, I do really enjoy the exploration parts of it.
Yeah,
Like it,
it was
yeah,
like a Metroidvania, but not.
hmm. And then when you got all the abilities, you went back and just saw how much more bigger these levels really were,
Hmm.
and all the little components that you got with it. Um, like it's funny, hardly most of those abilities that I got, I hardly ever used. The passive and the active
Yeah,
medallion. I think the active one I used was a healing, and then the passive one for the most part gave me more gold. But then I switched it up to you got, I think it was called Berserker, and you got more powerful. The more hits you
yep,
accumulated.
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had that mostly. I think I forget what my active one was, but I rarely changed it. If actually, if anything, I think we've talked about this before, where I barely used the Ninpo abilities because I would forget. I would forget I'd
Hmm.
have them, and I'm like primarily focusing on my melee skills and all that, and then I'm like, oh yeah, shit, I have Dragon's Breath. I can just
Hmm.
take these guys out like nothing. What am I doing
Yeah.
struggling?
Hmm. No, I got into the Nimpo abilities more towards the end, and it was this water one that reflected attacks, or not
Yep.
necessarily reflected, it made you counterattack them.
Mm-hmm.
And that actually was very helpful, especially against those giant onis
Really?
with
Okay.
their
Because
massive, with
I I never used
because
that
they would
ever.
hit hard,
Hmm.
which means if you use that reflecting attack, you hit them hard and you didn't get the damage.
Okay.
So,
Hmm.
but of course, you had to time it so that because you only that it worked for like 1.5 seconds, and then your barrier was down.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then you also had that really good healing, like super ability that I ended up using a lot towards the end too.
Yeah. I think I did too, especially when I got to that final boss battle. That was an extra boon that I used. Um,
Wow.
especially
I
near
had
the
two
end.
freaking health bars, and if you
Yeah.
died, you had to do the whole damn thing over again. That pissed
Yeah.
me off a little.
Yeah. That was rough.
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
um I
I saw
hesitate
it
to
coming.
say go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry. I saw it coming too because when I saw how much damage I was taking off of him the first time, I'm like, "Ooh, he's got a second life. You know, he
Yeah.
has a second life." But he still hit like a truck even in that first form.
Mhm. Yeah, but
Anyways, continue.
it's well, like I said, it's that same thing that we talked about earlier as once you get the pattern down, it's super easy because it's like you barely survive that first form, and then you see a second form, and you're like, shit, I have like barely any health left. I'm not gonna survive this.
Hmm.
How am I gonna keep doing this over and over again? But like with each subsequent playthrough, all of a sudden now you're just knocking through that first form like really fast.
Bless
Oh,
you.
sorry. But yeah, like all of a sudden to the point where it's like that first form, I think in one of my playthroughs, I took like 0 damage. I was like, "Dude, I got you. I got you. Come on.
It's like I see that attack coming a mile
I
away.
see you. I see you. I see what you're doing." And then all of a sudden,
Hmm.
second run through, it's like, "Oh, okay, here we go."
Oh, there he goes. Turns into the giant eyeball with the spikes that go everywhere again.
Yeah, oh my god, all these red streaks all over that I can't fucking see.
Ah, man, that had been torture for you.
Yeah, there was
It's like,
oh god, there was one level where I think you're fighting a wall.
mhm,
It's not the big final boss stage. I think it was like a sub boss, and it was outside, and you're trying to get into this cave or something like that, whatever. And he is launching things onto the environment, and the
mhm.
red was so faint that I was missing it all the time, to the point where it's like I almost knew the enemy animation that was happening before that attack, and then I prepared that way. I just forget what where that at that boss was, but it was like I wasn't looking for the color red, I was looking at the enemy
Mhm.
animation. I'm like, okay, he's
Oh.
gonna do this
You know,
attack now.
was this the Beastmaster in the desert? Because he had like an aura attack that he would like that I think
Was it?
signaled. I don't know.
Maybe it was because I know it was like you had to enter a cave, and I thought it was.
And you do fight one of his forms in a cave
Hmm,
because you had to fight him like 3 times. Is that him?
was it? Was it 3 times? I think I was only like the one time because I had to restart multiple times.
Mm,
And it's funny because I was watching a guy on YouTube I watch, G Man Lives, um, had struggled with the same. He did a deep dive into that game, and I think he struggled with that same enemy, and he struggled in the same way I do, where it's like, I can barely see red, so this is frustrating for me. And I'm like, oh yeah, you too.
it's I don't know why. Like I feel like games should always have that colorblind option now. Like that's got to be an easy thing to fix. It's what it just changes the color of indicators,
Yeah,
right?
which I did that with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
Hmm.
I changed the like for any fast paced game, I change red, period. Because it's like if you want me to see this, I'm not gonna see it right away. So anywhere where it's like fast paced gameplay or whatever, I'm changing whatever red is to yellow. Because that's the yeah, it's the easier color for me to look at.
I'm so glad I'm not colorblind.
I mean, it's not.
That's gotta just be frustrating.
Mhm. I mean, it's like I said, it's not terrible. Like I said, most games have colorblind options, but you know,
How does your Switch library look?
I it's
What do you see when you look at your Switch library?
red, literally red. That's it. I have to walk so close to my Switch library to see the text because it all just
Damn.
blends. It all just blends red. I was actually just down there this today when I was compiling my list. I went downstairs to look at my collection, and I was like, okay, I got to walk up to it really close to see everything, and otherwise, it's just a block of red.
Like,
Anyway,
great that Switch 2 just decided to go unique with its spines this time, right?
yeah, at least we got that.
Yep. May not have games on the cards, but you at least have colorful spines.
Yeah. Don't get me started on game key cards. Um,
Uh,
so I was thinking, like, the art style is probably the most divisive thing with Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
very.
And I can see where some people come from with people wanting it to be more retro themed, retro styled, kind of like Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. And uh, keep in mind that guys that made Shinobi Art of Vengeance redid Streets of Rage 4,
Mhm.
and everybody praised that art style, kind of. Um,
Yeah,
me,
Streets of Rage 4 had the comic book style,
yeah,
which I thought
which,
fit.
mhm.
But then
But
you
I
had
also, I don't know. I thought like, well, yeah, it doesn't look like the old school Shinobi games. I still loved the
Mhm.
art style.
I thought it went well. Like it had that whimsical, like Japanese, like a- not. I don't want to call it animation because I think anime when I think Japanese animation, but more like
Yeah.
that. Like it's almost like the watercolor scroll. Um, Okami did it the best, in my
Oh
opinion.
yeah.
But you had that kind of same feeling with like the art style in or in Shinobi
Hmm.
in
Yeah.
that
No,
sense.
I agree. I think the way they designed the levels and the stages, it made like the backgrounds will look great. The
Mhm.
foreground looked great. Even just the with the fast paced gameplay, I think the art style fits with the gameplay style.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
feel like there is. Well, I was gonna say I think there's kind of that also difference. I feel Ninja Gaiden specifically wanted to keep more of the retro feel going on. Like it wanted to bring back homage to its original series, but
yeah.
I feel like games like the Shinobi and the Streets of Rage 4, it's like they want to evolve the series more, but
Hmm.
keep it to the 2D roots.
Yeah. Which I'm in on both. I'm the type of person that I like playing new games with retro stylized graphics. Like I totally am. I am your market for that. Okay.
Hmm.
But I also would appreciate, like you said, an advancement into the next generation of games with, something like Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I mean, if Shinobi 3 came out back in the Sega Genesis and all of a sudden we saw a leap to the next Shinobi with Art of Vengeance, like my brain would have been blown away. Like it would have been great. Um,
Hmm.
if you want classic old school retro stylized Shinobi graphics, go play Shinobi 3. Besides, Art of Vengeance is the best Shinobi game you can play.
Did you fight the secret boss in Art of Vengeance? Get the lab keys?
No, I did not. I think I'm
So if you
missing
got
one
all
lab key. I think I'm missing one lab key. I think I found at the end.
one of them's in the shop where after you get all 55 medallions, you unlock the last lab key that you can buy. Maybe that's the
Oh,
one?
okay. Maybe I think that's the one. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think I got. I don't think I got that one.
Yeah, there's a
Okay.
super boss. in the laboratory level.
How
You
super
might
is the
remember
super boss?
the super boss will kick your ass.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But you'd appreciate the super boss.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. So, yeah, I think overall, it's tough for me to say which one I like the best. I'm happy that we got both. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's amazing that within the same year we got a new Shinobi game and a new Ninja Gaiden game. When those games were announced, I was like a little kid in the candy store, just like, oh my god, guys, I'm eating good today. I'm eating good in 2025, and I it doesn't need to be said that 2025 is going to go down as one of the greatest years in gaming history. When you or me are podcasting in our 60s, we're going to be talking
Mm-hmm.
about 2025 being like one of the best years in gaming.
Year that Expedition 33 swept the gaming awards and people called controversy.
I always thought the game was overrated. I thought that even then.
I
I just
met
didn't want to
Ben
say
Starr
anything.
back in the day before he was known as Verso.
All right, Grandpa, sit down. Taylor's gonna be like, Grandpa, sit down. I know Ben Starr. Like, oh yeah,
Just like I did too.
so did
You
we all.
introduced me to.
Yeah. um, but yeah. So I mean, it's amazing that we got both these games in the same year, like, and that they're different. Like, I couldn't imagine if they both were that same retro stylized graphics that they both did that. Um, I don't know how well we would have appreciated it.
I don't think we would. I really appreciate just how different each of these games were.
Yeah,
Otherwise, I probably would have felt massive fatigue going from Ragebound to Art of Vengeance.
yeah. Because I played Ragebound first, then Art of Vengeance after that, and I think, um, definitely Art of Vengeance was very, different both in art and in combat, and it was refreshing instead of just like you said, same old stuff,
Hmm.
same old game. As Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, I'm moving on.
Yeah. I think for me, I would probably give the edge over Shinobi, just because I did appreciate more of the exploration factor in it,
Mhm.
and the bosses weren't as frustrating to me in Art of Vengeance. I appreciate both of the games, so they were both fantastic in their own way. Like gameplay, I'd probably give it to Ninja Gaiden Ragebound,
Mhm.
just because it had more of that rhythmic style. Like the gameplay felt more fine tuned.
Yeah.
Uh, but I like the art, the the exploration, and the story more. No, actually, story might go to Ragebound.
I kind of like the
Ragebound kind of
story
had
in Ragebound a little bit. Yeah. A
yeah.
little bit of the dynamics between all the characters, and then, um,
Mm-hmm.
obviously the CIA being one of the biggest turncoat villains in the series, as we know from the original games.
They were just doing what they thought was right.
Yeah, that's what they all say. That's what they all say.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked Joe Musashi's voice actor. Mm. I played it
You know
in
what?
I played it in Japanese actually. And I told myself if I ever did a second playthrough, I'm gonna play it in English and see what it's about. But it was always funny, like all this like long exposition from all the
Hmm.
characters, and then all of a sudden, mm.
Yeah, it was the classic silent protagonist where everyone else understood his grunts.
Yeah.
And they're like, "There's so much hate in your eyes, sir. Please, you need to let it go."
Mm. Oh, so you mean go attack the base here and then send all the troops there? I get it. I get what you're saying now. Mm.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm. Yep. Uh, though I did notice when I saw this credits roll, Susie Yoon was Tomei in Shinobi,
Oh, cool.
and she's like literally she's like in every single game like that you can think of now. Like
Mhm.
she's like the female um,
Female version of
Troy
Troy Baker.
Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like, does this game have or she's like okay, she's like yeah, she's right up there with like Laura Bailey. Like it's who's in this game. It's probably either going to be Laura Bailey or Susie Yoon. For example, she was Himiko in Silent Hill. F.
Oh, the American version of Himiko. Yeah.
Yep. She was she's Yuffie in the Final Fantasy remake series.
Yep.
Uh, she's uh
Oh, she plays as
Fuka.
Kiku, one of the characters from Ghost of Yote.
Yep. Oh yeah, she's the daughter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at her IMDb.
Hmm.
She plays the voice in Avowed, Marvel Rivals. She does a lot of voices in Fortnite, Romancing Saga 2.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
she's around.
she's busy. Holy crap. Yeah, she plays
She's
Yuffie.
Yuffie. She's one of the isn't she like I forget what the name in Yakuza Infinite Wealth, like Chinako
Uh,
or something. No,
Chitose Fujinomiya. I don't know if I'm saying that right. She does voice Fuka Yamagishi in Persona 3 Reload.
Yep. Spell it
Octopath
right.
Traveler 2.
Who was she in Octopath? Was she the hunter?
Ochet.
Oh, Chet. Yep. Oh,
I
Chet with
never
the hunter.
finished Octopath Traveler 2. Hey,
Yeah, she's.
did you I imagine you played Octopath Traveler 0, right?
Yep. I'll probably. That's probably gonna be my Christmas game. It's a
Okay.
game I play because I plan on going over to my mom's house, and so I'm gonna take that with me.
Okay.
But great game.
Yeah.
Great game. That's
I've heard.
it's a very dark story, but it is also very story driven compared to the other Octopaths. And the
Okay.
music is mwah. Oh man, that soundtrack it just hits your soul.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yep. But yeah. So you were you kind of are in the option of they're both, considered great games. You really don't appreciate one over the other.
Yeah, I want to say I had more fun with Shinobi Art of Vengeance. Um, I think it was one of the games that I was obsessed with, that I was at work thinking about and saying like, I can't wait till I go back home and play Shinobi Art of Vengeance. I mean, I was like that with Ragebound. I beat Ragebound within a week. Shinobi Art of Vengeance, it took me a little bit longer because Art of Vengeance is a little bit of a longer game. But
Hmm.
I think I appreciated Shinobi Art of Vengeance because once you nail down the combos and the combat, you feel like such a badass. Like it is like you're just freaking killing it on screen. And
Yep.
Ragebound was a little bit more fun in, the pattern play, and then just, trying to nail your level times. How fast can I get through this? How fast can I get through that? And then it's like replaying levels over and over again, especially like if you die, um, you know, it's like, okay, I could do that faster next time around, or next time I'll like attack these enemies first over that. And like I said, I have fun for both, but I would say I'd give a little bit of an edge to Shinobi Art of Vengeance.
Yeah, I feel like Shinobi was my favorite of them as well. Holy
Yeah.
crap! Suzy Yoon plays as Risha Mao in the Legend of Heroes series. Son of a bitch. She's like my
Trying to think.
favorite.
Oh, cool.
Anyways, yeah. If she is the female personification of the ninja.
Yeah.
So this was the year of Suzy Yoon as well.
This was the year of Suzy Yoon. Silent Hill
Hmm.
F2 as well. I think
Yep,
her.
she was.
I played it both in English and Japanese. Um, while I preferred everything to be in Japanese, I also liked her character's depiction of Hinako.
It wasn't bad in English.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I think obviously her performance blew everybody else out of the water. Um, But if you want a full immersive kind of Japanese horror game, I feel like everything should be in Japanese. But that's my opinion.
Fair.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. Well, thanks for everyone who has stuck with us this far into the show. We'd love to find out what you thought if you played Ninja Gaiden or Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which one you thought was your the more superior of the ninja games. But overall, we ate a bunch of ninja this year.
Yeah, and no answer is wrong. I mean, everybody has their personal preference, and they're two totally different ninja games, but still the best ninja games that we've gotten in a very long time.
Yeah.
We were
Now,
eating good this year.
if Konami decided to release a Mystical Ninja, that would clearly have been first place.
Yeah, sure.
Because no one can kick Goemon's ass.
Yeah, sure.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for sticking with us this year. We will see you next year. This is Patrick, Stoy. Thank you for watching and or listening to the Boss Rush podcast and the Gamescast as well. And we will see you all with some exciting new content starting next year.
Can't wait.
Yep. So long.
Bye.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Austin Campbell, Celeste Roberts, Sana Dierig, Francisco Santillan, and Christian S. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network.